Hey guys, Desolator Magic here, and oh boy did they just change the Commander format. You probably already heard about this because it is really making the rounds. So they're beta testing a new system that's totally gonna fix everything. There's some glaring weaknesses in it. I see what they were going for. It's a step in the right direction, but they're going about it all wrong. Nobody's gonna abide by this. And right now it's soft rules instead of hard rules. And what do Magic players like? Hard rules. It is this way or it is that way, not, well, in my opinion. This doesn't prevent min-maxing douchebags from being min-maxing douchebags, downloading a net deck, running the absolute best in the tier, and also they didn't call them tier, they called them brackets. So what they did is they broke down Commander into 5 brackets. I'm going to show you the chart in a second right after I intro what Gavin wants you to know. Number 1, I expect for many people to play Commander, nothing will change. You can continue to play with whatever you want in your playgroup. Yes, that is what is going to happen in paper, because a grand total of nobody is going to go through every deck and classify it by tiers, but down to every card. That's never going to happen. Number 2, this system, and really no system, can stop bad actors. If someone wants to lie to you and play mismatched, we can't prevent that. Well, you can on digital platforms, which is the only place anybody's going to bother to enforce this, because unless you're at F&M playing Commander, in that case, yeah, the power creep's going to be a problem, and you're not in control. In your play group, whatever is acceptable is acceptable. If you don't want to play against someone, you don't invite them to the next play night. Like, they'll get the message that they're not welcome there, that their level of effort is not what you're going for, and they gotta go take their $4,000 deck, put it in their $2,000 car, and muffler drag it the hell out of here because we don't want to play with you, you know? That already was the solution, so I'd like to think they're only talking about digital, but it's not on Arena, and nobody plays MTGO, and if they do play it for a Commander, but, well, then why not just play on a different platform that doesn't cost $1,000 a deck? So the number 3 point is we want to stress that this is a beta test. Your feedback is critical. So they're just going to go on Twitter and Reddit and listen to pros who are out of touch with the community and fun and enjoyable gameplay and are very, very biased. So here are the brackets. So these are levels, tiers, leagues. You could call it anything but brackets. A bracket is like, okay, 64 people, the winners move on, the losers move to the losers bracket. That's when I hear bracket, that's what brackets mean. These are formats, sub-formats, tiers, and then the lowest one is 1 and the highest power is 5, which is the opposite of what tier levels are that already have been terminology in the community. They've just done everything they can to already screw this up. It's amazing. Wait till you see the ban list too. That's going to be a fun one. You guys are going to lose your minds with what's there and what's not there. So Exhibition Ultra Casual Commander deck. No mass land denial or extra turns at all. Okay. I mean, so just like put in the rules if this was digital or if you're playing paper, if an effect would cause an extra turn, it does not, or cards that generate an extra turn cannot be used. There you go. Simple. You could actually enforce that. No 2-card infinite combos. Harder to enforce. But if chess can detect it, then maybe this could. I don't know. It's not really the same. Chess, if you move back and forth, like you move back, they move back, you move forward, they move forward, and then you do that 3 times, the game's over by the rules of chess, I believe. I wouldn't really call that an infinite combo, but I'd call it stalling out. And then no game changers, which is the ban list. And then few tutors. Okay. This especially pisses me off. For the last, I'd say 7 or 8 years, I've been saying it is very obvious what's wrong with 99+1 Singleton. It's supposed to play differently every time. You could just, okay, Tribal get bigger, Elf Ball get bigger, Merfolk get bigger, I dropped in another sliver. Okay, so that's not really like it plays different every time, but it still kind of does, because you throw in some enchantments, maybe some equipment, mix it up a little bit. You never really know what you're going to get, so you get a lot of value and a lot of non-repetitive play out of your deck because you don't really know what it's going to do. You kind of do, but then you match up with a different person and have to play differently and at a different pace. So I absolutely love that. And that's why people were attracted to it. Also, it's self-police. People just gave up on WOTC. And then the structured play stuff, if you're playing for packs and you're playing for rewards at a store, it's going to power creep. Okay, people are just going to keep adding cards because they're like, hey, that's like $50 worth of prizes. What if I just add 3 more cards, bump it up a little? And then eventually you are just playing tier 1 crap. Ruining everybody's good time and making the game not approachable and not affordable for new people. And that's why it doesn't work. So this is their solution. My solution was, here's what's fundamentally wrong with Commander. Fetching. Oh, tutoring specifically. I said, here's how you fix Commander, okay? Let the tryhard douchebags have their own little league. Have the Anything Goes league. Have it be Vintage Legacy, whatever. But Commander. And then have, you cannot tutor for a card that isn't a land. The end, period, done. No more infinite combos. You can't fetch the cards. You can't fetch the pieces. You have to come across them naturally by scrying or drawing, which you will not do in 99+1 Singleton. Problem solved. What did they do? A bunch of bullshit and then few tutors. Well, what's few? Oh, it's up for interpretation. They didn't want to put a hard number on it because it's a beta and because they were too lazy to like do anything resembling math, like advanced statistical analyses of like the top decks right now. But yeah, you are only allowed to have few tutors. Somebody's going to jump it on tier 1 or tier 2 here. Oh, pardon me, bracket 1 or bracket 2. And just min-max it. What is the absolute furthest I can push this without technically breaking the rules? Well, what's a few tutors? I don't know, 4? A 4-piece infinite combo? You usually go get 2. What do you mean few? Is few 1? Is it 0? Because it should be 0. So the second one is core, the average current pre-constructed deck. So exhibition is you took a pre-constructed deck and made it worse, or built an absolute abomination yourself. Or you're like playing like Artisan Commander where it's not allowed to have rares or mythics. Oh my god. So, okay. No mass land denial, which, yeah. No chaining extra turns. No 2-card infinite combos. And no game changers. Okay, and then still few tutors. They didn't really add anything. So you can have an extra turn, but you can't chain it together. That is the only thing they changed. 1 and 2 are identical. Because if you're going to chain together extra turns, or you're even going to have them at all, you're going to be in a higher tier. I mean bracket. I don't know what I mean, because neither do they. I'm just pissed they stole my idea and then did it worse, but I'm also not surprised. So upgraded beyond the strength of an average pre-con deck, no mass land denial and no chaining extra turns, pretty much that's it. They allow late game 2-card infinite combos, so we're back to StarCraft 1 and R10, no Rush 10, you know, which everybody always honors. And then you can have 3 game changers, aka banned cards, which is too many because you're already allowing them to fetch them. The rest could be denial, control, stall, fetch, and you'll just dominate level 3. So that's just stupid. 4 and 5 are absolutely identical. So I'm not even kidding. Word for word, letter for letter, they're identical. It's just perception. How do you rate yourself? Just stupid. It's just, I need hard logic. I don't need a bunch of people telling me, no, don't worry, it's only 4. Nobody plays this. Also, I'm just here to win and get packs, and I'm not here to have fun. Screw you guys. So, optimized is 4. High-powered commander, it's time to go wild. No restrictions other than the banned list. And then 5, which is CEDH, competitive Elder Dragon Highlander. High-powered with a very competitive and metagame-focused mindset. No restrictions other than the ban list. So 4 and 5 are identical. It's just how you represent yourself. Or are you part of the meta, or were you? And that's, people get into arguments about, oh, tier 1 or tier 1.5 or tier 2 all the time on forums. And they're all talking out their ass, have no idea what they're talking about. By the time the thread is done and people have given up on it or somebody got banned, the meta has shifted anyway, at least in standard. So good luck getting anybody to agree on that. I thought CEDH was a different format that quite literally had different rules. Not by much, but slightly. Like, I think it couldn't be multiplayer. Am I way off there? I've just never been in the competitive commander scene because the very idea of it is just idiotic to me and to most people. I go for fun and interesting and enjoyable gameplay, not high-level competitive gameplay, because that's a waste of my time and not fun, which is ironically also the reason I left StarCraft 1. Well, without further ado, here's the Game Changers list. So you're not allowed to have them in 1 or 2, and you can only have 3 of them in level 3. So, I mean, we've got like stuff like Drannith Magistrate, Cyclonic Rift. Oh, I could see that. Force of Will. Really? Would anybody care about Force of Will? That's the thing. Like, I don't know about that. And Force of Will ain't going to do nothing but piss people off in multiplayer, but it'll crush someone in 1v1. They probably should have made 2 different lists. There's so much wrong with this. I mean, Ancient Tomb, Chrome, Mox, Mana Vault, Mox Diamond, sure. I mean, Grid Monolith, Lion's Eye, yeah, get rid of that crap. Some of these cards, Trinisphere, I don't actually know what that does. I forgot what the Tabernacle is. I remember that was good. The One Ring, yeah, get rid of that. Winota, she's that good. Kinnan, that piece of crap. But if you're gonna dig down into stuff like that, like some of the other ones I'm not gonna really name them, but why don't you add the other 100 that are about the same level? So they're missing some stuff on here. And well, it can be in your deck, but not as your commander. Where's that at? I mean, this is so not granular. And all they did was turn in their homework half done and say, hey, it's a beta. Guys, it's just a beta. We need your feedback. I give you my feedback right now without playing a single damn thing. They do have a hilarious Q&A. It goes on for like 10 pages. I'm not going to read it, but my favorite is, will you intentionally begin designing cards to go straight to the Game Changers list? No! Exclamation mark. Dude, yes, you will. You're power creeping standard like there's no tomorrow, because there isn't, because your company's going bankrupt. This is the best part. I play on Magic Online, also known as MTGO. Can this help me there? Oh, you about to get some help. Daybreak Games, which is the people who currently own, not controlled, not they're the developers, not they outsourced it, not the contractors. They bought, paid for, and own Magic the Gathering Online, and they pay a leasing fee, an intellectual property percentage to Wizards of the Coast / Hasbro. That is the agreement with Magic Online, in case you missed that. So their answer is Daybreak Games and their Magic Online team are aware and working on potential implementation of this. Stay tuned to them for further announcements. So the only place that this would have any kind of help or any kind of enforcement, Magic Online, they're looking into potentially implementing this. Yes, sometime in the future, maybe. Good luck with that. Oh, some of these are still golden. Is there an online tool to tell me easily what bracket my deck is? I would paraphrase their long-winded answer as no. They gave a Kamala Harris answer, but the answer is no. He says, this is something we wanted to roll out and get adopted, but we didn't yet. They handed off the list to Architect and Moxfield. Oh, boy. And also Scryfall. Cool, it would have been there within a day anyway. You made like one little slide. I could have typed this up in 5 minutes. Come on. There was also, you didn't really talk about mana bases at all. Is there any guidance for that? And then to paraphrase their answer, oops, is this the same as the power bracket system that you announced last year? Yes and no simultaneously. What if my deck accidentally has a combo or finds a way to chain extra turn spells? Well, then you're an asshole. Then the judges get to determine intent is basically what they're saying. Oh, that'll go over well. With stupid net decking shark douchebags trying to scam kids out of packs at F&M. That'll go real well. Why is chaining extra turn spells called out specifically? Because f*** you, asshole. You're a toxic piece of shit and you're the reason we had to do this. How can I use this system practically? That's the fun part. You can't. How worried should I be about mislabeling my deck and getting it in the correct bracket, not having people complain? And then once again, my paraphrased answer from what they gave was, everybody's going to be pushing the level anyway and lying about it, so don't be that worried. Just like everybody always adds cards to their pool at sealed tournaments. I mean, if everybody's doing it, don't be too worried that you'd slip up one time. This is the best one. I'm going to read this verbatim, because this just takes the whole thing and throws it right out the window. My best commander deck has no game changers and is technically a bracket 2 deck by your definition. Should I play it here? The answer they gave was, you should play it where you think you belong based on the descriptions. For example, if your deck has no holds barred power despite playing 0 game changers, then you should play it in bracket 4. So those two sentences completely contradict each other. They said you should play it where it belongs based on the descriptions, but also ignore the descriptions and feel it out about where you think it should be. Like I said, two completely opposite statements, but if you're playing a technically tier 2, but everybody's going to say it's tier 4, then you're an asshole and you should play it in 4. So it's more just like, your deck is too powerful for our group. I have nothing to base it on, but we hate you. Go back to bracket 4. That's on Thursday. Get out of here. This is a train wreck waiting to happen. That right there just took the whole thing, flipped it on its side, and it means nothing. Their guidelines mean nothing. It's completely self-policed. It's going to cause nothing but conflicts at F&M for $15 worth of prizes. And it is just going to be an absolute shitstorm. We already got people going nuts over, well, this grading company gave me a 7.5, but I cracked it, sent it to the same grading company, got an 8.5. Then I sent it to this other one and they gave me a 9. And that doubled the price up from $1,000 to $2,000. Wow. Wow, I love inconsistency and I'm going to take advantage of it for my own personal gain. I'm sure the community won't do that here. Somebody did ask what I was thinking. Why are there 5 brackets? Doesn't it kind of boil down into 3? And they say it's true. There are essentially 3 categories: no game changers, some game changers, and all game changers. And then they just give like paragraph after paragraph trying to gaslight you and never really land on anything solid. Other than, remember, it's a beta. It's going to end at 3. Oh, then somebody asked, why is Mana Vault on the Game Changers list but Sol Ring isn't? And the answer is, Sol Ring isn't on the list because it's Sol Ring. That's basically word for word what they put. It's the most iconic card in all of Commander. No, Command Tower is. Shut up. I'm saying that just to piss people off. None of my Commander decks ever had Sol Ring in it, by the way. So they have a card-by-card explanation in case, I don't know, you're not familiar with the card or you're just really dumb. And this article is like 50 pages long. So there is so much wrong with this. It's like, here's our general guidance. It's exactly going to be like this and this solves all your problems. Also, it's beta. Also, it could totally qualify for 2, but it should be in 4, but self-police it, which is what you were doing anyway. And it's none of it is set in stone, but it never will be because it'll never work. This is just a real complete waste of time. They're grasping at straws and they're trying to fix a problem that does exist, but with solutions that are no better than what already exists. I would have put in what Magic players want, which is hard, exact precision, binary, yes or no. Does it qualify, does it not? Hard rule, hard rule. But then if you had a list of 50 things you can and can't do to qualify for tier 3, is anybody going to bother? Already with this, nobody's going to bother. Making it 10 times as complex is probably not very good. And then when people look at the restrictions, they'll say, okay, I could do this and this and this and this, and it wouldn't technically break the rules, but it will run somebody's ass over on turn 3. And then they're like, well, then the rules don't mean anything. Well, what would you have to do with my version? Write even more rules. And more rules, and more rules, and more rules. And what do you get with that? You get California. It doesn't work. You don't need more bureaucracy, restrictions, red tape every time one person one time breaks one rule, because nobody's going to read any of them. They're not going to know any of them. They're just going to ignore all of it and break all the rules anyway, like California. So let me know what you guys think of this. I cannot wait to hear the different takes on this because there's people all over the field who play Commander or don't or casual or have been playing a long time or hate this and love it. The reactions online have been insane with this. So let me know what you think down in the comments and I'll see you guys next time.